Good morning, and welcome to Lesson 1, Part 4. So, it is my hope that you've already downloaded the free PDF that this lesson is from. If you haven't, then be sure to pause me right now and use one of the links on the page just below the video to download your latest link. The latest copy of the PDF for this lesson. I'll wait right here while you do that, and welcome back. Okay, so you're looking at your PDF. You're going to skip the first page, and look, there's the table of contents. We're going to the first lesson. Let's return to page 3. That's the information we covered in the last lesson. Now we're going to go to page 4. The heading at the very top of page 4 says Lamrim's, or reads, Lamrim's intellectual path to a Buddha's spiritual mastery. There's a lot of stuff right there. So what's a Buddha's spiritual mastery? Well, that brings us back to the question, what's a Buddha? Glad you asked. There's some distracting noise. Oh, let's just forget that. So here we go. Let's play with the idea. Let's explore the possibility that there are 3 types of human beings. You got your Buddhas, you got your Bodhisattvas, and you've got your boobs. Homer Simpson would be the archetypical boob. That boy is a slave to his impulses, to his sufferings, and to their consequences, as well as their causes. Allow me to give you an example. If Homer Simpson sees a donut, he grabs it, shoves it in his face without even thinking. If Homer Simpson's angry at his son, he throttles Bart. Once again, directly on impulse, doesn't even think about it. If something bad happens, he screams like a little girl, panics, complete slave to his impulses, his sufferings, and the causes of his sufferings. Great. Then what's a bodhisattva? A bodhisattva has the exact same impulses as a boob. What sets a bodhisattva apart from a boob is the intention, the decision, the will, the volition to no longer be a slave to that tyranny, to no longer be a slave to their impulses and their sufferings and the causes of their sufferings. Well, that impulse is that intention, Jim dandy, but it's not enough. They act on that desire by learning and then applying Buddha's teachings and Buddha's techniques. Great, we know what a boob is, and we know what a bodhisattva is. What's a Buddha? A Buddha is just a bodhisattva who has gotten so good at Buddha's mental yogas of devotion, awareness, love, and letting go. He has mastered them to such a degree that he's able to practice them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. So, making the jump from bodhisattva to Buddha is all about not becoming a good bodhisattva, becoming an effective bodhisattva is all about learning and practicing Buddha's teachings and techniques. Becoming a Buddha is about mastering those techniques. So there are 2 paths to a Buddha's spiritual mastery. The intellectual path and the mystic path. And you need them both, just as a bird requires both wings to ascend to the skies. Likewise, you and I acquire both the intellectual path as well as the mystic path to accomplish a Buddha's spiritual mastery. The heading begins Lam Rim apostrophe S. The Lam Rim is the Tibetan word for the idea of a graduated path or a gradual path. And think of it this way. You have a cliff face with stairs carved in. And although you and I might not be able to walk up the face of a cliff, we can walk up stairs that have been carved into the face of a cliff. The Lama is really, really cool. And I've gone into this in other videos and other blogs, so I'll be concise right here. It's said that Buddha gave 84,000 discourses over his 40-plus year teaching career. Some people would say that's hyperbole or hyperbola. Some people would say that's literal. And we're accepted this. If it's literal, if Buddha gave 8 lessons a day, every day, 365 days a year for 40-plus years, that's over 100,000 discourses. So whether this is a literal number or a hyperbole, here's the deal. Buddha gave a whole lot of teachings. Often he repeated himself. Sometimes he repeated himself exactly. Sometimes he gave the same lesson in a concise format. Other times he'd give the same lesson in an expanded format. Before Buddha died, even while he was still alive, even he, in several discourses, tried to condense the entire path directly and indirectly into one discourse. After he died, scholars wrote many encyclopedic references of Buddha's teachings, or subject-by-subject reference of Buddha's teachings, and then even organize them according to, first you need to do this, then you need to do this, then you need to do this. The Theravadas did that. The most famous work by I forgot his name. I think it's Manju. Well, it's called The Path of Purification, and the proper pronunciation and spelling that is found in the blog I did in that. I think it's Gosha. Anyway. Let me look that up right now. Yes, it's by Buddha Gosha. Very cool name. Anyway, in Tibet, many versions of the Lama exist. The Lama was first taught by Atisha in Tibet, and in the lineage that he called the Kadam, and then afterwards, various Lama discourses were written by the Nyingmas, the Sakyas, the Gelugs, the Kagyus. So in Buddhism, the tradition of organizing Buddha's teachings in an outline, not just a scholarly outline, but a practical outline that, if practiced in a specific order, will transform us into a Buddha. So this is an ancient practice in Buddhism. So, Lamrim's intellectual path to a Buddha's spiritual mastery. Now, there are a total of 56 lessons I've planned. I'm not going to give you the entire Lama Rim in the first lesson. Your head will explode. We're going to touch on the essence of the wisdom of letting go in a very practical, pragmatic fashion. The first part of this lesson text is Lama Rim's intellectual path. The second part of the first practice text is Chog Chen's mystic path, or in other words, you have the teachings and the techniques. Both are included are touched upon in this first lesson. So there you have it. This is what's coming up. The essence of Buddha's teachings on the wisdom of letting go, with the intention to not only help us weather the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, to not only help us deal with the rage and the terror and the despair we deal with, no less the annoyance, the anxiety, and the sadness that we experience. With greater skill, and greater bliss, and greater joy, and greater love. That's all you get for today. I look forward tomorrow in my next lesson, or I should say the next installment of the first lesson. I look forward to teaching you contemplative notation. Now I'm going to adjust something on the video real quick, make sure I get my hands in the right place. So before you go, I want to remind you to, there we go, click the subscribe button, and after you click the subscribe button, you can go back and touch it again, and a box will appear and give you an option to click a square that would allow you to get email notifications from YouTube every time I put up a new video. That's weird. If you like these videos, then, you know, let YouTube tell you when I load one up. After that, I invite you to, here we go, hit the like button. And that'll open up 3 social networking buttons, one for Twitter, one for Facebook, one for Google+. Share this with your friends. There you go. Below the video, you'll find a link to the registration page. The Thursday series of weekly webinars begins September 6th. There's not too many seats left, so register when you can, as soon as you can. I'll see you then. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Goodbye.